Hi everyone, and welcome to your final course. This course is all about strategic planning and marketing planning. So I wanted to just briefly talk about what we're going to be working on. It's all laid out in Brightspace for you, as you know. But I just thought I'd give it a little bit of context and provide some information as you start your weekend and get ready to start your first assignment. So I would like to talk a little bit about kind of overall what is strategic planning. And basically it is the goals that an organization has and how they're going to achieve their goals, right? So if you think about strategy in any aspect of your life, we decide we want to do something, we decide how we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, who's going to help us do it, and kind of like how we're going to get there, right? The steps and activities to get to our goal. So if we were talking about, let's say, losing weight, you'd say, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds. How am I going to lose 10 pounds? Well, I'd like to eat better, exercise a little bit more, count my calories, whatever it is, that's the how you're going to do it. You would also identify a timeline. So maybe 10 pounds is realistic to lose in a month or two. You would put some tangible aspects to it, such as I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. I'm going to eat, 3 or 4 vegetables a day. I'm going to not go over 1,500 calories. And in a month or so, I should probably get to my goal, watching it weekly, maybe losing a pound or 2 a week. And eventually I've arrived at my goal. So that is a, basic strategy, and strategy can be applied to every aspect of your life. If you were, going to save money, so that's the goal. How are you going to save the money? Well, I'm going to open a savings account, like a tax-free savings account. I'm going to set aside 10% of my pay or $10 a week or whatever it is you would decide is the activity to achieve that goal. And maybe you set it for a year. In a year, I want to save $1,000 in my tax-free savings account. I'm going to do that by setting aside so much each week. By the end of the year, I'll have achieved my goal. And sometimes you can even say, okay, well, who's going to help? If I'm losing weight, maybe it's a personal trainer. If I'm saving money, maybe I need to talk to my spouse or my business partners or my financial planner. Those are the people who can help. And everyone gets on board and moves towards that goal. That is all strategy really is. And when it comes to a strategic plan for business, you identify as an organization, as a child care center, what do we want to achieve? What do we want to do in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes up as high as 5 years, to work towards the goals that we have as a collective group. And taking the time to identify those goals, writing them down, coming up with a strategy for how you're going to achieve them, when you're going to achieve them, and all of the sort of to-do list that comes with strategic implementation. So that's really all it is. And I think for childcare centers, we get so busy with the day-to-day that we don't really look at the long-term planning. What are our goals over the next couple of years? Do we want to grow? Do we want to downsize? Do we want to change some policies? Do we want to apply for grants? Do we want to do additional staff training? Do we want to change the quality aspects of our center? Do we want to buy new equipment? And if so, how are we going to do that? So that's really what I'm asking you to do, is think strategically about the way you're going to lead your organization in the coming time. And that for you might be a year, 3 years, or 5 years, whatever you want it to be. Each of these plans is very individualized and subjective to who you are as a leader, what resources and capabilities you have within your organization, what capacity you have to achieve those goals. So that's kind of how we'll approach strategic planning. And the first step is really identifying what is called SWOT. And it's just an acronym for what are our strengths as an organization and as individuals? Where are we weak, in terms of things that can be challenging for us? Where do the opportunities lie? And what might be a threat that could stop us from succeeding? As an organization, maybe you have some awesome staff for a strength. Maybe you have a really great space in a center. Maybe you have some extra monetary resources, or maybe you have people with certain skill sets that you could leverage to help. Maybe there's opportunities to write grants, opportunities to partner with someone in the community. Those are all of the things that are sort of the S and the O. What are my strengths and my opportunities? As well as identifying Where are the challenges? Where are we weak? Do we have a human resource deficit or issue? Do we have some staffing challenges? Do we have any problems we have to overcome? Are there competitors or things out there that could pose a threat to us succeeding? Right now, the biggest threat we all have is COVID. When do we even get to open again? But while we're not open, we have opportunities to work on policies and other things until we can reopen. So that is all SWOT is, and a lot of people will just download a chart, a quadrant. You can make them colorful and creative, or they can be plain black and white. Whatever you want, please have the liberty to be as creative as you like, just like with your kids, right? Creativity comes from you and how you want things to look. If you want to brand it and make it colorful and match your brand, or if you're a little bit more plain and don't have a lot of tech skills and just want to document on Word in black and white, completely up to you. So SWOT, your strategies connect to your vision and your mission, which is like, this is what we're here to do and this is what we're here to achieve, and all of the goals that we have should work towards the ultimate mission of this organization, whatever that may be. So that's kind of what we're going to work towards. And then part of the marketing plan is related to goals in terms of how do you want to market your organization? How do you want to brand it and represent it to the public? What reputation do you want to have? How do you want to be viewed as an organization? What is the story you want to tell the public about your organization, about your staff, about who you guys are? Your brand is the identity, the marker of who you see yourselves as an organization, as a collective. So don't overthink it and overarch it. These are really basic principles that can apply to your own life. If I think about personal branding and personal marketing, what kind of teacher am I? What kind of reputation do I want to have as an educator? What kind of relationship do I want to have with my students? Is no different than a child care center asking themselves what kind of reputation they want to have, how do they want to work with family, community, partners, all of that. Or a business that says, this is the kind of product we want to carry, this is the kind of relationship we want to have with customers, this is the kind of reputation we want to have with stakeholders outside of our organization. So that's basically what I wanted to talk to you about today, and kind of get the juices flowing and thinking about your goals, your SWOT, your marketing ideas. If you don't have a brand, you want to come up with a brand, your logo, your signature colors. If you've never told the story about your organization or how it got started, or maybe what the name is based on, you can think about branding and marketing from that perspective. If you've never used social media, you've never had a Facebook page to promote your organization, maybe that's a really great goal to think about, how you'll promote yourselves. I think about the Maggie's Place story. If you guys have never heard of Maggie's Place, it's a family resource center in Amherst, and there's also one in Truro. I'm sure there's family resource centers all over. But the Maggie's Place story and brand, the brand is a ladybug, but the ladybug is based on a story. And I won't do the story justice, but in a nutshell, it was about a little girl named Maggie who was very sick and had some type of really rare condition. She died at a very young age, and when she died, her mother wanted a legacy for Maggie. So she started Maggie's Place. She opened up a center where families could come and get supports and resources and love, where kids who are typical or atypical could go and feel included and special and welcomed. And that's kind of where Maggie's Place was born. The connection to the ladybug is a bit of a sad story. This story is actually framed on the wall at Maggie's Place in Amherst. At her funeral, Maggie loved ladybugs, and at her funeral, a ladybug kept landing on her sister's leg during the service. And, the sister would shoo it away, and the ladybug would come back. And she ended up looking at her mom, the sister did, and she said to her Mom, I think this is Maggie's spirit. It keeps coming to me. And so, that story is branding, sure, but it's what Maggie's represents. So what do your organizations represent? What do they mean to your communities, to your families? If you approach your assignments from that angle, don't think of them as assignments. Think of them as the story, the way you want your organization told, the messaging, the promotions, how you want your reputation to be built, and work towards the end goal in mind, and then come backward to go forward, right? Come back to, how do we get there? What do I have to do to achieve whatever that thing is that we want? So anyway, I hope this helps a little bit. I didn't want to take up too much time. I mostly wanted to say welcome back. Congrats on being almost done. This is so exciting. You guys have come a long way. I'm here to help. I'm in my house like you. I've got my tea every day. My girls are here. I'm homeschooling, and I'm available to help. So stay connected, reach out, take care of one another. Be safe, be well, all that important stuff. Get outside, get some fresh air, and when your juices get flowing and you feel inspired, write it down. Put those things to paper, and there will come the assignment of what's required. That's all for now. Have a great weekend, and talk again soon. Bye.